Stop everything you're doing right now before YouTube deletes this video. Listen closely. For 2,000 years, sacred books were burned, hidden, and forgotten. The words that once praised the name of God were buried beneath dust and silence. They told of angels who fell from heaven, of mankind's divine origin, and of a truth too powerful for the world to accept. Tonight, you will hear what the world tried to erase, the forbidden stories that once stood beside the Bible itself. They say humanity has advanced, that our minds have replaced faith. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if we have been falling, losing our light, our purpose, and the knowledge of who we truly are? The ancient scrolls whisper of a time before the flood, when the world was still pure and man walked with angels. Among those lost texts are the Book of Adam and Eve, the Book of Jubilees, and the Book of Enoch, each one banned, suppressed, and feared for revealing too much about heaven and the origin of mankind. The Book of Adam and Eve begins where Genesis ends. Cast out of paradise, they faced the first night of creation, trembling in darkness, crying for God not to abandon them. In their tears, the first prayer was born. And God spoke, "From your seed shall come one who will crush the serpent as head." It was the first prophecy of redemption, spoken at the dawn of time. This story, hidden for centuries, tells how Adam and Eve learned pain, hope, and forgiveness, proving that even in exile, they were never forgotten. Then came the Book of Jubilees, known as the Little Genesis. It was said to be revealed to Moses by an angel on Mount Sinai. Secret creation story lost for 2 millennia. It tells how every event, from the rise of kings to the fall of empires, was written upon the heavenly tablets before time began. The Roman Church banned it, calling it too dangerous, because it declared that God alone controls history and that no act escapes his plan. When the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, fragments of the Book of Jubilees were discovered, identical to the Ethiopian version, proving it had always been real. But the most forbidden of all was the Book of Enoch, the revelation of a man taken alive into heaven. Enoch saw the structure of the universe, the order of the stars, and the fall of 200 angels who descended to earth and corrupted mankind. They taught humans how to make weapons, cast spells, and summon storms. From their union with women were born the Nephilim, giants whose hunger devoured the earth. When their violence filled creation, God sent the great flood to cleanse the world. Enoch was shown the 10 heavens, the throne of the Almighty, and the judgment that awaits both angels and men. He saw the Son of Man, radiant in light, seated beside the Lord of Spirits, his eyes like fire and his voice like many waters. This vision, written thousands of years before the birth of Christ, prophesied the coming of the Redeemer, the same Messiah later revealed in the New Testament. That is why Enoch's words were silenced, labeled myth, and erased from Scripture. Yet even when burned and banned, the truth survived. The Book of Giants, a lost fragment of Enoch's story, tells how the Nephilim dreamed of their own destruction. They saw the flood before it came and cried out for mercy, but heaven was silent. Their spirits, neither angel nor man, became the restless shadows that haunt the earth, the origin of demons, as Enoch foretold. All these texts were forbidden because they remind mankind that God never stopped speaking. They reveal that heaven's watchers still see, that every soul is known, and that the same divine promise made to Adam still echoes today. You were never forgotten. The story of creation is not myth but memory, a message written before time, waiting for the day it would be heard again. So as you close your eyes tonight, let these words sink into your heart. Remember the light of Eden, the voice of Enoch, the promise of redemption. What was hidden for 2,000 years has returned to awaken your soul. The heavens still watch, the angels still wait, and the truth still whispers. You are created for something eternal. Listen and remember.